You might be asking yourself, who is this woman on the screen right now? This is Carolyn Bryant, the lady that accused Emmett Till of whistling at her, flirting with her, which in the end got Emmett Till slaughtered. A 14-year-old young black male. And I'm not gonna go into the full history of the Emmett Till case. If you guys want to learn about it, learn what went down, you can go on any internet service or whatever and look it up. But the reason I have her picture on the screen right now is because I was browsing the internet and some things about Emmett Till came up, and I just got to reading it and everything, and I came across a passage that I guess this was a journal that Carolyn Bryant had kept during the case. She was taking notes and basically had her own personal journal of a day-to-day thing of what was going on with her and her husband and the case as a whole. And I want to read one of the passages that she wrote, and this was her last one that she had wrote after the case had been already settled. And this was September 23rd, 1955. It says, "Dear Journal, I'm so excited to tell you this good news. Roy and JW were found not guilty, just like I knew they would be. I'm so thankful that the jury knew these two men were innocent and only did what they had to do to protect me. I'm so proud to say that Roy is my husband, because he's the best husband I could ever ask for. This trial, though, has been long and tiring. We had to drive an hour down to Sumner for the, I don't know, that summer or whatever, but we had to drive down Summer for the first day of the trial, which was about 3 hours long. Roy and JW were called to the stand right away to testify. That's when I was most nervous to find out what happened that night. Finding out what happened made me sick to my stomach, but the worst part was seeing that nigger's mother sobbing. It killed me. It isn't my family's fault that her son was a nigger with no respect. She should have taught him better. We decided to stay the night in Sumner because the next day was the trial. The next day was a blob, and I don't recall what happened. The day after, though, the nigger's uncle Moses Wright took the stand and testified against my family. I pitied that nigger. He sounded so dumb on the stand talking. He was just a nigger. No one cared what he had to say. Finally, it was the day where we found it out which is not correct English. She wants to call Uncle Moses stupid, but yes, she doesn't use correct English. Okay. Finally, it was the day where we found it out if they were guilty or not. They were found not guilty. She puts that in quotes. We all basically knew they weren't guilty, but I still was nervous. Those men on the jury are my heroes. They saved my family. I have to go now and unpack. Goodbye for now. Yours always, Carolyn Bryant." Now, I felt all type of ways when I read that. Part of me was angry. Part of me it clarified her ignorance. And I felt all type of ways. But the reason I want to, talk about her and bring up the Emmett Till case is, this shit is still going on. We have several cases since then. Oscar Grant, George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin, he got off scot-free. This shit is still going on. And then we have incidents like Paula Deen, saying the word nigga, and we have the guy that plays for the Philadelphia Eagles, I forget his name right now, but nigga words slipped out of his mouth, and people are questioning how much should they be punished for this, or should they get kicked off of the team, or should they really lose all these endorsements and just be destroyed in the media. Well, this clarifies why they need to be punished to the maximum degree. Because you see, when black people in the media and we're accused of things, everybody comes down on us. You saw what happened to Michael Vick with them damn dogs. We saw what happened to Chad Ochocinco and many other black entertainers. They come down on us hard. So if you're going to do that with the black community, you do it with everybody. And, going back to just within the Trayvon Martin case, it seems like, we just don't get any justice, which is why I say we need to start changing things and taking back our community. When we do that, we can stop a lot of this bullshit. We need to start controlling our dollar. Because like I've said before, nobody respects anything in this country but the dollar bill, including black people. And it's just, when you look at cases like the Emmett Till case and everything, it really goes to show you that not too much has changed. We had the Emmett Till case where these guys, got off for murder, slaughtered that young boy, and I remember, first hearing about the Emmett Till case. It was from my grandmother. My grandmother was from Louisiana, and I didn't know about a lot of those southern stories and, things that happened down there. And I remember she had told me about Emmett Till, and I was like, who was Emmett Till? And she explained to me what happened, how he was accused of, whistling to a white woman, and it came and got him out of his, uncle's house and slaughtered him, cut his penis off, gassed out his eyes, put an axe to his head, and threw his body in a river. And me being a young boy at the time, I think I had to be about 8 or 9, hearing that story, it affected me in a certain type of way, even at that young of an age. And she just wanted to really educate me on things that go on in this country, and things that I could possibly be ridiculed for simply because I'm a black male in this country. And that was just my first time hearing about the Emmett Till case. And it's been several incidents that was somewhat identical to this case. It might not have been the brutality of it, but we see cops gunning down black men for the hell of it. You got the Fruitville movie out, which I advise everybody to go see, about Oscar Grant, that was gunned down by a police officer that I believe only got a year or 2 in jail for killing him at point blank. and I don't even think he served his full 2 years, but it just goes to show you of the injustice things that happen towards black folks in this country, and how we should be fed up to the limit with this shit. We just saw Pillsbury Doughboy George Zimmerman get off scot-free, smiling in the court. They just caught him the other day on a traffic violation with a gun in his car. So what does that tell you? That tells you that this man really doesn't give a shit, and he had the same type of mindset that Carol Bryant had towards the Emmett Till case. She was so cocky and so confident that her husband was going to get off for murder. And it's because the law is not right. It's because of that thing we call, that we have in this country called white supremacy. It's because of things not being played out fairly in the court system. And this chick is still alive. I'm not even gonna call her a chick, I'm gonna call her a bitch. And for you white folks out there, or anybody got a problem with me calling her a bitch, I'm telling you right now, fuck you. I don't give a shit. This is how I feel about her. And to be honest with you, I'm being nice by calling her a bitch. Because this chick, is still alive, still walking around, breathing, celebrating her birthday and everything. But she was the root and the cause of the Emmett Till death. Emmett Till didn't get to, experience, his first time driving, or, his first true relationship, or him having kids, or, graduating from high school. He didn't get to experience all that. The boy went down to visit his family, and he ended up losing his life. And that's how it is for a lot of black people in this country. You can go out, anytime you walk out your door, there's a strong chance you might not come back, especially if you're a black male. So, the reason why I want to do this video is not only, just keep people awake and aware of the things that we deal with, and motivate everybody out there to create some type of change. If you can't do it on a national level, do it within your community. Because we gotta stop, just talking about praying and all that, and oh, things will get better. We gotta start taking action on a lot of this stuff, because we get riled up and emotional for a minute, and then as soon as things die down, like the Trayvon Martin case, everybody's back to having that passive mindset, and we really have to get out of there, and we have to continue to push on, and push on in an aggressive way. Before there will be, and there will be, another Emmett Till. There will be another Oscar Grant. There will be another Trayvon Martin, if we don't put a stop to a lot of this shit that's going on. So that's all I gotta say. This whole article here, I will leave the link in the description box for you guys that want to check out, the whole journal piece she wrote. But she basically wrote from August 24th of 1955 all the way to September, which was, I guess, the 2 months where the trial was going on. And it's a lot of crazy shit within this journal. But hey, I just wanted to wake everybody up on this, and inform you that this stuff has not changed. It really hasn't. But I'm out, y'all. Peace.